Hi everybody! Sorry I've been quiet as far as reviews go on the blog this past week, but the reason was very good because I was very busy binge reading the Lux series by Jennifer L. Armentrout. Wendy is so happy that I finally got around to this because I keep talking about it on the blog. Like, I think I've probably mentioned it in at least 5 posts now that I keep meaning to binge read it, and then I don't. But I finally had an opportunity to binge them all, and I thought I could do it in a week, and then I got busy, and it took me like 2 weeks, but that's not because the books were bad. Let me tell you, I'm about to flail and fangirl all over the place in this video about these books. So instead of doing a traditional review, I wanted to do a series, kind of like vlog discussion thing, like I did when I binge read Covenant series by Jennifer L. Armentrout. So this is going to be chock full of spoilers, and if you haven't read the Lux series, please leave, because there's some awesome twists that you are not going to want to know about, because it will totally ruin your reading experience. So once again, if you have not read the Lux series by Jennifer L. Armentrout, these beautiful books right here, get out and come back after you've read this series. Are you guys all gone? Okay, so I started with Shadows, actually, the prequel, which was in the back of my copy of Opposition, because Wendy recommended that that's how I start, and I instantly fell in love with Dawson and Bethany. I kind of felt like their romance was a bit quick, but it is a novella, so I tried to keep that in mind. And then Jennifer L. Armentrout ripped my heart out of my chest when she killed them both at the end of the novella. This is only the first of many times that JLA would rip my heart out of my chest while reading this series, because seriously, she's evil. I'm convinced. I'm just kidding. I love her. So then as soon as I finished with that, I jumped right into Obsidian. Obsidian and I had some issues, and I honestly had a little bit of trouble getting into this series. I was getting a major Twilight vibe from this book, and I told Wendy that, and she said that Betty said the exact same thing, so I'm glad I'm not the only one. But Damon was just, like, so overprotective, and then Katie was all like, he hates me, he's so mean to me, when everyone else knows that he really likes her. And it was just major Bella Edward vibe, although Damon Black is way hotter than Edward, let's just all admit that. But even though I kind of struggled through it, I just heard so many good things about this series, I was like, no, it's gotta be, I'll give it another chance. So I finished that off, and moved right on to Onyx. And then I started to really worry, because the first half of Onyx, I was so annoyed with Katie, because she was being so freaking angsty about Damon, and because he was trying to be like, I like you, I really like you, and she's like, no, it's just a connection. And it was going on for too long. I appreciated that she didn't immediately, like, jump into his arms and was like, of course, I forgive you for everything. But, you know, 200 pages worth of you don't actually like me made me kind of want to rip my hair out of my head. But once we hit the halfway point, I just really fell into my stride with this series, and shit started getting really fucking crazy. I loved the evil government aspect of this, the whole, like, Department of Defense, which eventually we find out is, like, a whole other sector called Dauntless. That was awesome. And then Blake was, I hate him. I wanted to throttle him the whole book, because seriously, what a douche nozzle he was. And then Dawson's alive, and you're like, what the hell? Dawson's alive! And Bethany, and then they, you know, are starting to, like, freak out, and they have to get him, and then they get him back, and it's crazy. Shit gets crazy. And that's when I really started to fall in love with the series, was with this book. And then I read this book, and I'm just going to skip right to the ending, because we have to talk about this immediately. The ending of this book is quite possibly, no, not quite possibly, it is, for a fact, the meanest, cruelest, most horrible cliffhanger I have ever read in my entire life. And I've read some pretty nasty cliffhangers. Can we say winner's curse, people? No. This makes Marie Rakowski's cliffhangers look like unicorns and puppies. Because this was horrible! They rescue Bethany, and then Katie gets caught, and the doors are closing, and Damon goes, "I love you, Katie. Always have, always will." And then the doors close. And then it ends. I can't tell you how thankful I am that I had the next book in the series right away to read, because if I hadn't, I don't know what I would have done. I feel so sorry for all you people who got on this bandwagon right away instead of waiting months and months to get on it, that had to wait for this book, the next book, because I would have died. I seriously don't know how I would have survived that. It would have been horrible and awful, and I'm so sorry. But anyways, this book was amazing. This is the book that really, really, really hooked me on the series. I loved that Dawson was back, and that him and Katie had kind of an interesting relationship, and she was kind of the only one that was able to communicate with him and talk to him, because he's obviously really screwed up. I mean, he's been with the DOD for, or I guess Daedalus for, like, what, 2 years, I think? And, I don't know, they're pretty fucked up, so I imagine he went through some shit. And then, of course, Beth's not here, and that just, obviously, he's torn up over it. And I loved that they all came together to help him get Beth back. I loved that this whole series, they're all just, like, they're so strong together. They're such a family, and they always help each other out no matter what, no matter how dangerous or risky it is. They do it for each other because they love each other. Oh, and we got to meet Luck in this book, who was one of my favorite characters in the series. He is terrifying, super badass, but then he's like this 15-year-old kid who's like hilarious and charming, and you can't help but like him. He kind of reminds me of Kenji in a way, but like way scarier than Kenji. Yeah, I want to be best friends with Luck. And then we got to my favorite book in the series, Origin. This is like seriously one of the most intense books I've ever read. My feels exploded. I think that JLA actually might have broke my feels, because I cried like multiple times throughout this book. Katie has been taken by Daedalus. They're making her do horrible, awful things that I can't even think about without like having my heart rate pick up, because it makes me so freaking angry. And then Damon gets himself kidnapped, which is typical Damon, and as much as I didn't want him in the hands of Daedalus, selfishly I was like, thank God, because I couldn't survive them being apart for an entire book. And then some super fucked up shit happens. And then we meet Archer, who is another one of my favorite characters, and the bromance between him and Damon is amazing. And yeah, this book, I don't know, there was a lot that happened in this book, and it was so intense, and seriously cried so many times, because JLA decided to go all George R.R. Martin style in this book and murder like 1,200,000 people. I mean, Ash, Andrew, Paris, Matthew. Wait, did Matthew die in this book, or was it Opposition? I don't remember. He dies in one of them. She just was ruthless in her killing of characters, and it just broke my soul. Shattered my soul. For real. My soul, guys. Matthew. Oh, I still can't believe that Matthew betrayed them. It kills me. Literally kills me. I die. So yeah, then this book ends on, of course, another horrible cliffhanger. Not quite as bad as Opal, in my opinion, but still pretty freaking bad when Damon, Dawson, and Dee light up like glowworms and then walk away to their people, just disappear into the forest. Are they coming back? No, they're not coming back, because we get to Opposition and they're gone, and they've been gone for like 48 hours and no one knows where they went. And then, of course, the Luxon that all drop down to the face of the earth like a meteorite shower start attacking the humans and showing what their true plans are. And then Katie gets kidnapped, and then Damon acts like he doesn't love her anymore, and it's just killing me the whole time reading. And Dee is 100% brainwashed by the Luxon, and Just sucked when they had to leave her behind, or well, I guess they didn't really leave her behind. She chose to stay with the Luxon. I broke inside. And then they have to go back to Dauntless, but luckily Luck is running the show this time, and I am so happy that he put Nancy Husher in her stupid place. Ugh, hate that woman. And then they go to the Aram for help. Woo! What a brilliant, crazy, stupid idea! I actually was really interested in the Aram, and I think it would be really cool if there was a spin-off series about the Aram. I would totally read that. Because I think there's more to them than what these books showed us. I think they're complicated, and that they aren't all evil. Obviously, it's proven that the Luxon are actually pretty freaking evil. Not all of them, of course. Not Damon Black. Not my love, Damon Black. So yeah, I think that would be cool if we could get a Aram spin-off series. Are you hearing this, Jennifer? Please write this for me. And then Kat's mom. Can we talk about Kat's mom? I could not accept the fact that she died as fact. It was not real to me. Every time, like, I just kept thinking, no, she's not dead. She's coming back. There's some way she's gonna come back. She can't be dead. Kat's lost everybody that she loves except for Damon. Like, there's no way that JLA is that mean and is gonna kill off her mom, too. She killed off her mom. She did not come back. She is dead. I still can't accept it. She's out there somewhere. I'm gonna continue to believe that because the truth is just too difficult for me to think about. But then there was the baby, which was a happy point at the end. I loved the epilogue, how there was like that little family reunion with all of them, and Katie and Damon are planning their wedding, and Beth and Dawson just had little baby Ash, and she's so cute and so smart and kind of creepy in how smart she is, but still adorable, and I just loved it. I loved it. I loved that Lux showed up and wanted to hold her immediately. Just, oh, I just love all these characters so much. If I had to pick which series I like better between Covenant and Lux, I was talking to Wendy about this and I thought I'd share. I think I'd pick Covenant because I like the storyline better. However, Damon Black is way hotter than Aiden Turner. Way hotter. I just can't. He's so sexy. And I loved when once he finally got through his, misgivings about humans and everything and finally told Katie that he loved her, the things that came out of Damon Black's mouth, panty melting. I was fanning myself reading these books because he is so hot, and the things that he says, I'm gonna make him older in my head so I'm not a total creeper and just drool all over him. So yeah, that was my Lux reading experience. I hope you enjoyed this flailing, nonsensical video. As per usual, my blogs are always flailing and nonsensical. I will talk to you guys later. Bye!